Pokemon Detective Pikachu is directed by Rob Letterman, and it is the first live-action Pokemon film that we've ever had. It is the latest video game movie to come out of Hollywood, and this is actually surprisingly good. It tells the story of a human character called Tim Goodman, played by Justice Smith, whose father has disappeared, and his father was a police detective in Rhyme City, which is basically the city where Pokemon and humans, their human trainers, live side by side in harmony. And one day, when Tim is investigating his father's disappearance, he stumbles upon a Pikachu, voiced by Ryan Reynolds, with amnesia, and together they team up to try and solve the disappearance of Tim's father. And for what it was, I actually enjoyed this film quite a bit. First off, the film actually values plot and character over CGI, which for a video game movie, that is actually really nice to see. It actually takes the time to build an interesting main character. It gives both Tim and Pikachu deep-ish backstories. It actually bothers to give them character motivations, and it actually offers a reason for them to team up. I really like the fact that the main character is given depth, that he has lots of flashbacks to his past, he has history, and he has a background that actually compels him to go on this quest. And the thing that always makes a mystery interesting is the main character's investment in the mystery, and I really like the fact that with this mystery, Tim and Pikachu both have reasons to team up and find Tim's father. And I just really appreciated the fact that it felt like a real film with real characters and an actually decent story. Another thing that I liked is that the tone of the first act really is actually quite moody and depressing. You know, you really wallow in Tim's sadness over the disappearance of his father, and him and Pikachu actually share a few emotional moments that work. And I like the fact that scattered throughout their quest, since it really is an emotionally driven quest, you know, it's Tim's journey to find his father, it actually allows for some really decent character moments and some nice emotional moments between the two main characters. Also, the production design, the feel of Rhyme City, it was really cool. The CGI for the Pokemon is, for the most part, really spot on. I really liked the fact that Pokemon blend in seamlessly into this world. And with a mystery film, with a sort of film noir vibe, you really have to nail that tone, nail the atmosphere, the sort of gritty streets. You really have to get that film noir vibe down. And this film actually does that very well. And it was actually shot on film, and that gives the film a nice gritty atmosphere. The world feels lived in. It's really nicely stylized as well. It's just really, really cool and interesting to look at. Some people might have thought that Ryan Reynolds was a slightly interesting choice to play Pikachu, but it does actually pay off. He is very funny, and he does provide most of the humour in this film. The animation for Pikachu is really cute. You just want to give him a hug. The animation for most of the Pokemon in general is really well done. And the mystery is actually quite interesting. With each new piece of information the characters learn, it takes them to a deeper part of the mystery and a new part of the city. And I like the fact that, you know, it was just a nice proper mystery with clues and people investigating, and the mystery getting deeper and deeper as the characters get drawn more into this world. And I liked them investigating all the different parts of the city. I liked the world building and the fact that the characters actually got to explore. The story actually had twists and turns and emotional moments with two characters who were actually interesting to watch. And also the final climactic battle, which is usually where most action movies sort of falter a bit, that's actually quite fun as well. Obviously it's not, you know, it's not fantastic or anything, but for a big CGI-heavy third act, it actually is quite fun. It's got a great over-the-top performance from Bill Nighy as well, which is always fun to see. And the musical score was actually, I think, based off an actual, you know, video game soundtrack. It had that video game feel to it, and that was also a fun companion to the action. So those are the things that I liked about the film. Things that I didn't like so much are mostly story issues. Characters explain very quickly how they got to conclusions, and then the film just jumps from them getting from one place to another. You know, they'll be in one place, and then suddenly they're like, oh, that's the situation here, and they get to those conclusions a bit too quickly, and then immediately they're in the next place that they have to be. Also, there is lots of exposition in this film, and it's delivered in really unsubtle ways. Characters will stumble across holograms, and those holograms will basically tell the characters the entire history of what's happened at that place, and these holograms provide the clues instead of the characters actually investigating for themselves. There are some plot holes, some moments where you just sort of have to forget about logic. Also, the villain is quite obvious when you think about it, and his plan doesn't really make much sense at all. So yeah, other than a few story issues, it being slightly exposition heavy, and a few moments where you just really have to forget about logic altogether, Pokemon Detective Pikachu is actually quite fun, and it is a massive step forward for the video game movie genre. I'm going to give Pokemon Detective Pikachu a B. Again, it was just really nice to see a video game movie that actually felt like a real film with real characters, a real plot, and it was actually interesting to watch, and it held my attention throughout. It's lots of fun if you're in the mood for it, and I would definitely recommend it if you're in the mood just for a fun time. So those are my thoughts on Pokemon Detective Pikachu. If you guys have seen it, let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do, and until the next time, goodbye.